Alright, let me get a quick check on how my audio sounds. So you might be hearing a bit of echo for the next second or two. So you might be hearing a bit of echo. Nope, we are good. Marvelous. And now we can switch to this. And now that we have done so, welcome back everybody to more Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Not to be confused with Breath of the Wild. That's a very different game. However, we are in fact here. So, if you will recall from last time, or I mean, you're under no obligation to recall anything. Last time, we pretty much finished up the very last of the southeastern section of the map. So we have taken care of all of the south part of Fodden. We've taken care of the Necluda area, including the bottom right with a really cool challenge of having to basically start from scratch. We took care of all of the shrines that were in Lanayru. We took care of the Divine Beast Vah-Ruta, so we have Mipha's Grace now. And then we started making our way towards the northeast to Ridgeland Tower. Now, unfortunately for Ridgeland Tower, there is a very obnoxious shrine, which is the one that we're at right now, which is right here. So this is basically a test of patience, and I tried doing this a little bit off screen, and unfortunately had no success. The reason being is that for this one in particular, and I believe I'm double checking my map to make sure, that is the only one that we did not do on this set. Yep, that is the only one that we've not done, is this one right here. So if you do talk to Cass to get the hint on how to do this one, essentially what you have to do is stand on this platform, not wearing anything, and wait for a blood moon. Problem is, you're sitting there waiting for a random event to toggle. So you basically get one of two options. Either one, you can come back to this, and probably warping from this shrine and gliding over is going to be your best bet the minute that you realize the blood moon is coming and trying to get here in time. Or you can sit here and wait, and then you can also use flint and wood and attempt to take extra days where you just keep shifting it to night and hope that it will show up. I said I was going to use up all my flint. I decided to save one, mostly just to note that I still have one, and if it's in a really big emergency and I do need this, then I have it. However, I did not have any luck with getting the blood moon off screen, so I'd say sorry, but it really wasn't under my control, so not much I could have done, really. So, that being said, the first thing we're going to do is warp back to the village. I'm going to get my health back, because I didn't even realize I was almost dead. The second thing I'm going to do is lower the volume on the TV, so that we're not getting any echo. Because I imagine that would be quite obnoxious. So, bearing in mind that we can't do that, we're going to do something else. And to be honest, it's probably going to be something more interesting to watch anyway. Though, to be fair, with the Blood Moon Shrine, I would imagine watching paint dry is probably more fun, because you're literally just sitting there waiting, and then when it happens, you're like, oh, that was it. It's not too terribly interesting. Also, I just now realized I should have warped to the shrine in Hotno Village, because that would have been way faster, but oh well. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, spilled milk and all that. So hopefully everybody's doing well on the 17th of September 2021, if you're watching this on the archive page in the future. I need to be a little bit better about getting my stuff archived. I'd gotten the third part of Paper Mario Blind archived, and then for whatever reason it was like, no, you didn't actually do that. And so as a result, now I don't have Part 3 of Paper Mario there. It just goes from Part 2 to Part 4. It just decided to cancel that, and by the time that I realized, oh hey, it's not Part 3's not here for whatever reason, and even though I'm very sure I uploaded it, I clicked on it after it was taken care of, all that good stuff, it ran fine. At this point it is no longer on Twitch, so I have no way of re-uploading it. Hooray! That's quality, ladies and gentlemen. True quality right there. You know what? I feel bad for Link. Let's let him sleep in a little bit longer. It was 2:15 in the morning, and we're gonna get this man up at what 5 o'clock in the morning. That's not enough time to sleep. Yeah, that's not enough time. This is your own bed. You should be allowed to sleep here longer. Sleep till noon. Get another 7 hours. Do your body some good. Don't be like me yesterday whenever I tried to sleep before work and didn't get a chance to because my body was like, you don't need sleep, it's fine. Then lo and behold, after being awake for about 25 hours, your body was like, I need sleep bad. I'm like, well, we did try to warn you. Dum-dum. Right, so with Ridgeland taken care of, the next place we're headed to is actually, pausing for dramatic effect, Rito Village. That's right, we are finally headed to Rito Village, and we are going to go and tackle the next Divine Beast. I might hop to the tower first, which I should be able to spot from here. Is that it right there? Yep, that sure looks like it. Hi. What you looking at? Not really, but okay. Oh, that was a shrine quest, was it not? Well, we'll take care of that when we take care of it. I'm pretty sure I know which shrine that is, and it is in the area we're going to. However, for this one, since we're getting a very helpful ability to make navigation more easier, I'm actually kind of okay with just waiting and basically get the tower and then head to Rito Village. If there's any shrines along the way, we'll do them. But if there's not, then no big deal. We will do the one in Rito Village, of course, but aside from that, if we gotta wait a little while, we gotta wait a little while. It's alright. I could put some clothing back on Link, but he'll be fine. This is a chance to build up a good sweat right here. Yeah, that's probably the shrine right there. Oh, hey, that's one of those dudes. Let's completely ignore him. Perfect. Now we can keep pressing on like a Reliant K song. Still can't believe that thing is 20 years old. That baffles me. Though the fact that I'm fastly approaching my late 20s is also baffling, so... Consider me the generic answer to every reality show where somebody makes it close to the finals and they're like, I didn't even think I'd make it this far. Yeah, that's me at 26, almost 27. Alright, Link, let's get you some clothing on here. One thing we also definitely need to do is make sure we get the next Great Fairy, because that's actually near Rito Village, if I remember correctly. That'd be a good chance to upgrade some gear, and once you get the second set of upgrades for a full set, you also get a bonus if it is a certain type of outfit. And I don't remember which ones all do and which ones don't. I know the stealth one has one where you get a bonus where you move faster at night. So that would be at least one to look forward to. I have no idea if the climbing set has one, though. That'd be awesome if it, like, increased your climbing again. Sort of taking the back entrance here to get to this tower, but it's fine. It's covered in goop and junk, so it's probably best that we do that anyway. actually go to that one. Ah, clever. They've hidden it to where you have to glide from another pillar to get there. Yeah, as you get farther away from the, Ooh, hang on. How much of that will that get rid of? Hey, there we go. Oh, and it actually knocks the thing over, too. That's even better. You can touch that stuff, by the way. It's just going to damage you pretty badly. Think, like, when you're in an ice area and you don't have any gear on. That level of damage. And with all the stamina I had, I probably could have just, like, glided to the bottom of the tower and still made it up to here, but it's fine. There's one in Gerudo in particular, you pretty much have to glide to it because you're probably not climbing the whole thing unless you just literally dumped every single upgrade you got into stamina. But here we are. Excuse me, I'd like to update my iPhone. Yes, I'm being slightly more health conscious today. No drinking Coke. That was just some lemonade. Some strawberry lemonade, to be more specific. It is my go-to. That might be my favorite drink. That one's up there with, like, hot chocolate for me. But it's a little too warm for hot chocolate since it's 92 outside. So I think we'll pass on a hot drink. I'm good, though. And there you have it. The regional map extracted. Give me back my phone. Alright, so Rita Village, unsurprisingly, is here, as you probably could have guessed by, you know, just looking at it. There is a shrine on the way that's right here. I think this might be the shrine that you get after you beat the Divine Beast, though. If it's not, we'll just snag it on the way, and if it is, which I'm thinking it probably is, then we'll just pass it on by. You can see the one that's in the village from here, though, so I'm pretty sure that's the one you get afterwards. But there's only one way to find out. Can you imagine how much harder it would be to travel if you didn't have the paraglider in this game? Oh my gosh. I'd have to go past all that stuff that I just did. Like, I'd have to go down the cliffside and back up the... It's just no thanks. It'd probably be faster to just go around, but there's no real way to go around it, so... I don't think I've ever explored the bottom of that cliff. Yeah, that is the one that shows up afterwards, I'm pretty sure. Yep. No? Wait, maybe? I don't know. That could be a different one than the one I'm thinking of. Hello? Bye-bye. Archer, no arching. I have taken over your tower. It is now mine. With your shock arrows that I do not need. And your explosive barrels that I also do not need. Nope, you're going with them. Now nobody gets to enjoy it. See how you like it. Ah, beautiful. Sir? Hey, you found a nice shiny weapon. Unfortunately, it can't block explosives very well. Ah well, what are you gonna do, right? Cocoa Bat. I don't really need that. Lasalbo. Hey, some arrows. Oh, there's a dude down here. Hey! How's it going, my man? Alright, where was that shrine pedestal? I think it was back here somewhere. I'm not going to spend too much time looking around to see if I can solve this puzzle. Yeah, I don't remember this one offhand, so I'm not going to worry about it. Also, hey Scarecrow, what's up? Want to drop by to show support? Check out the VOD for this ASAP. Yeah, I need to get the VODs posted for all this stuff. I would do it while I'm at work, except the internet connection at work is nothing short of terrible, so doing that's a little bit of a hassle. Let's actually take the proper bridge. We'll be fine. Of course, they would make you go around and use the bridge like a human because, you know, even with all my stamina, I can't glide to there and then climb it. I mean, I could if I had enough food. I could just keep staminaing my way to the top, but that would be more for pride than anything. It is not a requirement to do so. Oh, yeah, not rock. Okay, there's one. There's two. Nope. Not allowed. Surely you didn't think I forgot about you. Man, there's a lot of these dudes here. Get out of here. Gotta set. Yeah, I do need to set up the vault. Maybe I'll try doing that at work and just seeing how it'll suffice. Alright, we got drugs, we got a stable. Life is good. Another axe, which means I can get rid of this. Oh, I didn't know it boomeranged back. That's kind of cool. Hylian rice. Need Goron spice. Yep, I will be happy to do that. I don't think I have that on my other file, and I've been through the Goron area. Hi, Cass. Oh. I would, but it takes so long to hear your songs. Otherwise, I would actually every single time. Today's Customer Appreciation Day. I want you to have this. Hey, Ancient Arrow. Even works on the Guardian things. It's amazing. Yeah, it does a ridiculous amount of damage to the Guardians. What all do I have? All of them. Here. You can enjoy those. That's really about it, though. We're pretty good on money for the time being, so I'm not going to be selling all my worldly possessions. What are the goals for the session, Rita Divine Beast? Yes, that is what we're going to do right now, actually. I was unable to, with all of my flint and steel... Just get normal arrows, please. Nice. I was unable with all my flint and steel to be able to get a blood moon to activate, so the shrine that is here-ish, or no, sorry, where my horse is one that I was not able to obtain. So if the blood moon shows up while we're doing something, I'll just hopefully remember to go back and get it. But for the time being, I'm not gonna freak out about it if I don't manage to pull it off anytime soon. We've already there's already one other one we skipped anyway. It was the shrine that was actually in Hyrule Castle for the major test of strength, so it's not a big deal. And while normally I would go around and do at least some of the shrines before the Divine Beast, for this one in particular, it's almost better to just go ahead and do the Divine Beast because the ability you get for one, and for the other, there's at least one shrine that you actually have to do the dungeon before you can even make the shrine appear, so it just made more sense to go ahead and do this now. Well, that deer will be wounded for life. Grab some fireflies. Yeah, an update. Yeah, no, couldn't get it. I kept a piece of flint, which is right there, just to remind myself about it, like that I do have a piece of flint, and so if I run along more, then great. If I don't, no big deal. For the time being, there's still plenty of other stuff we can do in the world, so it's just one of those things I will try my best to remember as we're playing through. Okay, we'll just go down there, then... There we go. Oh, hey, sledgehammer. I'm actually gonna switch out my axe for that. And then do some quick fishing here. Perfect. Hardy salmon. You actually do need this for a shrine quest later on. There's a kid here that will just straight up give you some, though. So, either way, be good on that front. Surprise, it's a bird! Except not really, because it's mechanical. You'd think this would be like one of the harder ones, just because like, oh, it's gonna be flying, that's gonna make it a gigantic hassle, and it really doesn't. It really doesn't make it a hassle. Also, I'm glad you enjoyed Breath of the Wild thus far. There's definitely a lot to it. Like I said, in terms of, like, provided you enjoy playing it, you will absolutely get your money's worth out of this game. There is a lot to this game. There's been a ton of extra side quests and stuff I've just completely skipped in favor of doing the shrines and the Divine Beasts. Also, there's an option of prayer right here if you want. I usually just go to Kakariko Village. Pick up, what was that? No, not that. There was an option to pick something up. I don't have any orbs, yeah. There's an option to pick something up. What was it? Oh, it was that. Well, I don't care about that. Yeah, I'll destroy your precious pottery. I don't care. That's for the beds. I could have just checked the minimap and realized that. Here's all your foodstuffs. Some wheat. I'm actually going to grab some cane sugar because I am really bad about not remembering to get all these, so if I do need them for something. Some goat butter, some arrows, some bomb arrows, some sun shrooms, a diary. We'll ignore that. Up here is what I was actually looking for. Our armory. You will want some cold resistance, like really, really badly when you go to this section, so if you've got the previous tunic, you may not necessarily need the snow quill tunic if you have to pick 2 of the 3, pick the headpiece and the trousers. But you probably will want the full set for later, just for the record. If you've already got the doublet, though, then you should be at least okay for the cold resistance. Just bear in mind that the doublet, as far as I remember, can't be upgraded, so defensively it's going to be way weaker than what you'll end up with. And then we'll take a quick detour to unlock this. Aka Vakut. Vakut, I don't know. Depends on the language if you pronounce the Q or not a lot of the times. Let's see what we got. This should be more than enough hearts to tackle this dungeon, though. This one is by far the easiest. Like, if you don't really need the revival of Mipha's Grace, this is the one I recommend that you do first, is the Ruto one. Ah, right, this one. Okay. So probably the best way to go about this is going to be doing the outside fans first. The long and short of this is you can move these platforms with the fans around in all directions, and you have to have all of the fans blowing in order to unlock the door. Nope, that's not right, because if I move that one, then that one will still be there. Let me try something different then. I do remember that these don't go perfectly in like a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion. However, we'll figure that out once we get, at the very least, that part of it taken care of. Maybe I do have to have that one pointed that direction. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now I'm getting it. Send that one that way. That way. That should be all the outside ones. Yep, that's all the outside ones. Okay, so now all we have to do is just focus on the inside ones. That should be substantially easier. Of course, there's only 2 fans on the inside, so probably what we need to do... Yeah, I see it. Okay. We need to make both of these facing left from the platform we were on anyway. Double check my work here. It should just be the one that I made. Yep, it's just that one. Okay. So from here it should be a little bit easier to figure out. Because I just need to get that one moving. Okay. Sorry, I was waiting for somebody to stop stomping around by my apartment. I don't know why everybody stomps everywhere. It's like we're not in the military. Jeez. Alright, let's see. Are any of these being used extraneously? Like... There are 3 fans that can get that one that we're missing, and it's the 3 that are all facing left. The outside ones can't reach it. So it's got to be one of the inside ones that gets to it. What is with everybody stomping around outside? Get out of here. Seriously. Jeez. It's got to be one of the 3 inside ones. Either the top one moving down, the down one moving up, or the left one moving right. And it's going to be the top one moving down. Yep. It'll be the top one moving down. I said down, not up. Which will nullify these. However, we actually don't need this one to blow these two because the other ones that are already blowing left are already getting those. So then all we have to do is move this one to the right. And that's all of them. Ta-da! That was a really good puzzle, though. I enjoyed that one. There's no hidden chests in here, is there? I don't think there is. Just every once in a blue moon, shrines won't have a hidden treasure chest or anything like that in them. Oh, well, maybe. Oh, there is. But we probably have to go back here, don't we? There we go. What do we got? Okay, I'll take it. Those are kind of hard to come by, so I will never pass up an ancient core. Very nice. I will say, for one of the shrines that's put like next to a town or a stable or something, that was actually one of the more difficult ones. At least in terms you actually had to stop and think about it a little bit. Very nice. Out of curiosity, Chi, how far are you in the game right now? I know you said you only bought it when I last played, so I would presume not as far as this, unless you've just been playing it non-stop. I figure depending on what part you watch, you've probably made it off of the plateau by this point, though. Off of the Great Plateau. Alright, let's continue our way upward here. There is a woman. We will ignore her. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about this girl. She'll basically... Stop. Thank you. She'll basically pay you money for giving her baked apples, but it will be like more than a shop will typically give you. Well, I was going to cook them in here, but I guess not. Oh well. In the captured memories got 1 out of 12. Gotcha, gotcha. Fair warning about that, with a slight spoiler. One of those is inside of Hyrule Castle, so... just bear that in mind. Also, getting the first one will get you a reward. The first, like, any 1 out of 12. There is no reward for getting the remaining ones except for an extra cutscene after the game is over. So it's not like you immediately have to go and do that. Just so you know. Up on your hip, could it be? Yep, that is a Sheikah Slate. Like you deal with the Divine Beast. Teba and Hearth tried to confront Meadow, but it did not go well and Hearth was injured. Teba escapes unscathed, but I fear he now fans... Okay, there we go. So yeah, now we go to her. Where'd he go? He went to flight range. It's over there. From what I remember, this doesn't have much before you go and take on the Divine Beast. Like, with Mipha's, you had to like at least go and pick up some shock arrows, so that took a little bit of time. Here, not really. There's not much you have to do. Ah, yes, the cutscene where Link gets to get picked on. We'll go ahead and skip this, because I think I said I was going to skip all these. I didn't skip the Mipha one because it's really sweet. Revali just picks on Link a bunch. Revali does not like Link at all. Alright, so let's get to flight range. It is pretty much exactly as they said. You can go on foot if you want, but if you've got enough stamina, which, like, you have at least a full wheel, and by this point you've probably upgraded it at least one time, you could also just do this and you'd be fine. And as mentioned, since that shrine is on the way, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. This is the real downside to going through the ice areas, is that you can't run as fast because of the snow. I gotta imagine there's at least one clothing set that can up your speed in the snow, be it from its additional bonus or whatever. I'm just gonna ignore those guys. Surprise, I lied. Nope, that's fine now. Even though I can't switch to it for whatever reason, it is mine. You stop swinging your spear around like a chimpanzee here. Leave that poor horse alone. Yeah, it's a decent spear. A big hearty truffle. Haven't got one of those yet. I kind of figured I would. But nope, guess not. You know what, actually? Really quick. Nah. It's not nothing that can't wait till later. I was going to go and use the woodcutter's axe until it broke to get more bundles of wood, but we're not in like an immediate rush for getting that. We can just do that at a later date. There's plenty of places where weapons, typically the axes, are just lying around. You could check like any stable at all, and there's usually at least one, sometimes two. We can just wait. We really don't need the wood bundles until we go do one quest where you basically build a town from the ground up. You have to have gotten your house by that point, but that won't be for a while. We're not going to head there for at least a little bit. This feels very fitting to have near the flight range, I'm not going to lie. Sir, I'm underneath that. Thank you. What do we got? I was about to say, probably like low-level rupee. Or mid-level rupee. And it sure enough was. Is there anything else around this area while I'm just checking? Nope. This one there is. I do remember this. Because there is this hidden back here. By using this, you can reach this. I think this is also a rupee thing, or like another ancient core. Knight's Bow. My mistake. I do want to keep that Rito bow just in case for the boss. The boss for Rivali's is not very hard, though. Much like with Mipha's, it's pretty simple. After doing Daruk's, I can safely say his is actually pretty simple, too. It's actually, the second phase was much easier than the first one was. Hilariously enough. And Daruk's dungeon was not as bad as I remembered. There was like one spot I got stuck, but it was because I was being stupid and forgot that you could, like, if you hold out your bow and arrow with an arrow at the ready and then walk it into the fire, you can set the arrow on fire, and I just didn't remember that for some reason. I was looking around for a switch to open a door that had a spot in it where you could shoot an arrow through to open it, and was being too stupid to realize. It wasn't a switch, it was a torch, so you have to shoot the torch with a fire arrow, or like a flaming arrow, but it has to be blue fire, which is in the dungeon, rather than just a fire arrow. Alright, that takes care of that. I'd say now we have quick access to the flight range, but like really, you don't ever need to come here outside of this. There's no reason from what I remember. There might be like a quest attached to this, but for story purposes, in doing the Divine Beasts, this is the only time you'll come here. Swallow Bow. I'll pass on it, but I've got it marked now. There. I think that might be the only place in the game you can actually get a Swallow Bow, but it's not very strong, so it's not that big a deal. Hello.
Yeah?
What's up?
I don't know you, and I'm actually pretty busy here. You should probably go.
Nah. I'll come hang out with you. He looks like he wants company. I think he's lying to us. I can help you. With what exactly? The Meadow. Let me get this straight. Some random Highland wants me to help bring down Divine Beast from Meadow. Not buying it. What's your name, stranger? I'm Link. Link, huh? I'm Teva, but you already knew that. Guess the Elder asked you to talk to me. Yeah. Just like the Elder trusts any fool wandering into town. You seem like an alright guy, but I'm not going anywhere. Can't rest until my people are safe. There's the only way I'm going back to Reed Village. Yeah? Once you get Meadow taken care of. Okay. You serious? The only way to stop him is to get inside it. We can't stop him. Actually. Only champions can do that. Then, how do you... If that's the only way to kill him and only champions get inside, you can't get inside. What's your plan here, Chief? Rita's use updraft in the ravine to hone our aerial archery skills. The updrafts. Yeah. Okay, so basically, you have to destroy 5 of these targets in 3 minutes. I'm not even gonna, like, ask for the pointers and whatnot, because this is pathetically easy. They could have asked you to destroy 20 targets in this time, and it still would have been pathetically easy. You literally just jump off. You've got basically infinite updrafts that you can ride up and down. Of course, you can move in slow time. So doing this is not exactly difficult. You just kind of move around until you get to a spot where you can shoot a target. Use the updraft, and just rinse, lather, repeat. Like, this is hardly a test at all. If you're a little far away, you need to aim a little high, but if you've been playing this far into the game, you already knew that. Like, that... My timer finished at 2:44:04, so it took me roughly 15 seconds. So it took me 3 seconds per target. Not difficult. You must have seen a battle too. I've seen a few. So yeah, he's modified a bow, and it's actually a really good bow, so I am going to drop something for it. I'll drop the... you know, as much as I like the 3-shot bow, I'm gonna drop it. Oh, this is also a falcon bow. Dude, you said you modified this. It looks exactly the same. You know what? I'll keep your falcon bow. I'll drop the other one. Okay. And at that point, that's literally it. Like, all you need is bomb arrows, but he gives you 20, which is more than enough. And then also, if you need some warm clothes, you have to buy them. But if you've already been to the village, which you would have had to have been, if you bought the clothing, you're good. Well, that's risk you'll have to bring him in. To rescue Zelda! Zelda? Stand the princess for volley served. Don't know what she has to do with meta, but whatever. Last time I played, I picked because I can't just sit by and watch, and he's like, you're a lot like me, I think is what he says, essentially. And, like, I can't just watch people suffer for no reason. So maybe next time I do a playthrough, I'll pick the third option. I don't remember what I picked in my first playthrough. Alright, showtime. So now it is taking on the Divine Beast. Like I said, it's way faster than the one for Mipha's. In terms of, like, getting ready to fight this one. So basically you have infinite updraft here, same as you did before, and you need to...
It's up to you.
Destroy all the cannons. They will fire at you, but he'll distract most of the fire, and even then, as long as you're constantly moving, it's not really that big a deal. Oh, they already equipped bomb arrows for us. Nice. And it only takes 2 bomb arrows to destroy each of them. So like I said, you might get shot at a bit. He distracts for most of it. Pretty effectively, I might add. So, like, largely this is not that big a deal. You can shoot the cannons anywhere. It doesn't have to specifically be the little bulb on them. Anywhere works just fine. So as a result, like, this is not much of a challenge. You can see even as you're falling too, like once I'm gliding, once I let go and hit the button again, it actually gives you your stamina back. So you're not even on a stamina timer for this. Really the only way you could fail this in any sense would be running out of bomb arrows, but like you only need 4, or 8 rather, and he gives you 20. So the odds of that happening are so low, they might as well be 0, really. Just pick a path, whatever direction you want, clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever you feel like. Blow them all up. And you're good to go. That easy. You can use the Falcon Bow he gave you if you really want, if you need the draw rate to be faster, but you probably don't. And there you go. We got access.
Well done, Link. That thing is history.
They do a phenomenal job of really making you wish you could fly, like in real life. Yeah, he got singed. Right in the butt, too. Not really, more so got him in the leg. And a little bit in the butt.
I just hope that.
Yeah, you'll be fine, just go.
You head down to Meadow. Good luck. It's all you.
His arms are wings, he can't do that. This isn't no Smash Bros. Brawl when Falco gives Diddy Kong a thumbs up. And with that, we are ready to tackle Divine Beast number 2. Like I said, if you don't care about Mipha's Grace, like, immediately, which is fine, then I would recommend you do this one first. The game really pushes you to do the Zora one first, though, because, like, you go to to the right on the map. You go to Kakariko and Hateno Village, which are both to the right. And that part of the map's to the right. And typically, you know, like if you start moving to the right and you get those two towers taken care of, you're probably just going to stick to that right-hand side, just go clockwise or counterclockwise. And so that would mean Mifa would probably be the first one that you do. And then you do either the Goron one or the Gerudo one second, the Rito one third, and then there were either the Goron or Gerudo ones that you didn't do fourth. I would recommend doing the Gerudo one last. I think the Gerudo ship is the only one that's difficult. Like, well and truly, like, I'm lost, I don't know what to do difficult. The rest of them, you can probably figure it out, given enough time, and it's not too terribly bad. Alright, so like always, first things first, the map. You'll see me destroying these little eyeballs because there's a fair few of them around here. Cool guys don't look at explosions. And there we go, we got our map. I do remember at least that for all the dungeons. From what I remember, getting to the map itself is always really, really easy. You might have to solve, like, a puzzle and fight an enemy, and that's about it. And there we go. There's our controls. Tilt the wings left, right, or keep them straight. And all the different terminals that we will need.
You'll need to look closely at your map of the divine.
So yeah, it will basically tell you the same thing every time because it doesn't know which one you would be doing first. But yeah, get back all the terminals, essentially. I don't think I need that spear. Nah, we'll pass on the Guardian Spear. We'll be alright without it. So yeah, they are all pretty much stacked within the wings. I'm going to go grab that and see what it is real quick. What do you got? Oh, okay. That was worth hopping down here for. Another treasure here. Where's the eye for it? No, not you. Get out of here. There it is. Alright, I'll take it. I don't think we can get to that one yet. I think you have to destroy that section of gunk from the other side, which is fine. So we'll start here. It's a good place as any to start, really. Nope, wrong direction. I always get these things turned backwards in my head. From here. Nope, it actually counted. Cool. I don't know if it'll count since I fell off. I forgot you had to shoot that while I was moving. I thought, since it was like, it kept moving my bow way farther up than it needed to for whatever reason, I was like, it's fine. I'll just purposefully do that, and it won't matter, but... I think that was the one I was on. It's hard to tell because now the junk isn't there anymore. Yep, that's it. Yeah, so just shoot it as it's going, or if you want to just shoot it like while you're right there, you could also do that. Or you just like aim from here and fire it. Either way works. Interesting that giving you the map gives you some slight control over the Divine Beast. It's not full control, but it's enough to, like, make the elephant move the trunk, make the bird move the wings, whatever. Alright, there's one.
There are 4.
Now we'll also open up so you can get in here. I'll flatten this out while we're doing this puzzle. Oh, hi. Is there anything up there, or is it just a little... Oh, no, there was something up there. Hello. Ice Arrow 10. Nice. From what I remember, at least, of the 3 that I've played on my other file thus far, there are no keys in any of these dungeons, so you don't have to be, like, specifically going out of your way for chests if you don't care about any rewards. Just, again, bear in mind that if you... I'm gonna turn this on. That if you exit this area after you've beaten it, that you can't come back in here. And that goes for all the Divine Beasts. Alright, so the trick for this one is to get that one to go all the way down. Then you're going to want to switch to stasis. And then as it's starting to tilt, go ahead and pause that. And then to keep the window open, you're going to have to magnesis this block and leave it here. So this will give it enough momentum, and they won't have any gates to get in the way. And that will be enough to hit the switch hard enough to open the door. That's probably the hardest puzzle in this dungeon, and it's still not very difficult. After that, you can let it... Because, see, like I said, you have to magnesis so that will come down, and then it won't be able to hit that. If it just slides naturally, like from flat to right, it won't have enough momentum, so... I don't know if you have to use stasis on it, but it helps, and it gives you enough time to set up magnesis a little bit easier. So I would say just go ahead and do the combination of both. So that, as you can see on the map now, that's all the terminals on this side, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm going to move this so I can get these blocks back over here. And we'll figure out where we're going from here. I'm actually going to reset my position, which you can always do by going down to the bottom floor. And then just gliding up. You can also keep gliding up to go to the top here, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Alright, so now what we need to do is move this here and then hit this with good timing. Move it back to flat. You can also just climb it. Like, there's no real reason to wait for the thing to flatten out again, but if you want to, you can. Grab the chest. And ancient core. Very nice. And then we can zoom on in here and see what there is to see. Go to that first and foremost. Did that? Oh, that looked like he, like, just magnetically got attracted to the ceiling for some reason. Get that out of the way since I'm going to need some more space. Well, that would have worked, and then Link decided to not jump or glide. I think you can technically do this from either side, so I'll probably just move it all the way here. But Link, you're gonna have to run and jump, okay? You can do that. Nope, apparently he couldn't do that. Can I walk this? Nope, I actually have to have it go back up to being the way it was. Yeah, okay, thanks. You're acting like you're skidding on the grass, and there's no grass to be seen. Nope, wrong way. There we go. I keep getting it backwards in my head because the map is reversed. I should flip it, but I want to keep the camera on link, so... There we go. It looks like you have to wait until it's fully moved over to be able to hit that for whatever reason. But there you go. That's terminal number 3. Let's flatten it back out real quick. And it looks like we've got ourselves a bomb puzzle here. We'll kick that in there. I was going to say if it rolls all on its own, then phenomenal, but it does not look like it's going to do that, which is fine. So we'll use this to blow that up. Oh, okay, right. I remember how this works now. It's like, what's the switch for? Now I remember what the switch is for. Let's go ahead and drop another bomb in there, let it get all the way over there, and then hit this to open that gate. Let the bomb go that way, and blow it up. And that will get us what we need, which is that metallic ball. Flip it to make the ball fall down here, and even though you can't push the ball normally, it is metallic, so we can just use magnesis and move it to where it needs to go. Just need it to get a little bit closer. Hello. I'd like to borrow you. Yep, just move it on over in here. Move that a little bit out so it actually falls into the slot that it needs to. And then move it back. Yeah, it'll kind of like find its line in that crevice right there, or that divot, whatever you're gonna call it. And now we can get in. And that's 4.
Just.
I don't think there's anything in here. Nope, doesn't look like it. Let's flatten it back out again. So that one looks like it is underneath the wing. If I had to guess. Can we get there from here? Do I actually have to go and... Nah, it looks like I actually have to go back. Alright, fine. It's not that big a deal. Alright, so like I said, we can't get out from that side because the goop is in the way. But I believe you can just walk along the outside here and do it that way. Get rid of that. Alright, so we've got to get over there. And the easiest way to do that is to get rid of that, which will give us the wind geyser of sorts, which will let you fly up really high, but you can also get where you need to go. And there you go. That's all of them. Like I said, really, really easy. Bar none the easiest one. Like, that took no time at all. And if you want to get back without falling, all you have to do is just tilt this to where you're up on the high ground. Just don't tell Anakin that. I should have waited, but I didn't. But if you do that, then you'll be able to make it. If not, you can just fall, lose a heart, and move on. Whee! Sometimes jumping off of the thing genuinely is a really good strategy, so it's not the end of the world if you gotta do it. Alright, we'll flatten that out and go fight the boss. That was literally it for that dungeon. I'm pretty sure the third kid dungeon in Ocarina of Time takes more time than that does. maybe even the second and the first ones. Maybe not the first one, but the first one's tutorial laden, so how to open a door, how to push a block, how to, you know, do all this other stuff, how to dive in the water, so. And now we get to fight Windblight Ganon, who, much like Water Blight, really is not that tough. The bosses in this game aren't that bad, honestly, like the actual bosses. Like, I'd think fighting a Lionel is tougher than this.
That thing is one of Ganon's own, and it plays dirty. It defeated me 100 years ago.
Haha, it's a bird joke. Get it? Wings?
I can't believe I'm actually saying this. But you must avenge
I mean, I don't have to avenge you. I could just kill him and not say it was to avenge you.
Dead on. Watch yourself.
Come on, up you get, up you get. It's not that tough. Yeah, the trick for fighting this guy is stand on one of these little pillars. Whenever he moves around, he'll go wherever it is he goes. Shoot him 3 times, he'll fall down, and then just damage him. If I'd been smart, I would have hit him with stasis, but stasis doesn't keep him wherever he is for too long. Sir, I don't know where you are. Oh, because you're, like, way up in the air, that's why.
Go for it.
Yep. Well, he fell off the side of the map, so I can't really hit him from there. Oh, I was about to say, where did he go? And there you go. Once he's down to half health, he'll change up patterns, by which I mean you pretty much just do the same thing that you were doing. Yeah, the only difference is he has those little, like, rocket missile things, but they can be so easily dodged that it's not that big a deal. With breaking that. Let's go to... Do I have any single plus weapons? Nope. Alright. Noom. And down he goes. He'll come back up. Where you going, bud? You going right there? Alright, that works. Yeah, the problem is when he falls off the map like that, you don't really get a chance to hit him. But, like, that's just more a he's not placed in a good spot type of thing. But in a rare example for bosses being placed in a bad spot, it's not that big a deal. And there you go, he's dead. Really not that hard, it just really helps to have a lot of arrows. And not even a lot, maybe just like 30. So as long as you have a decent amount of arrows, yeah, he's pathetically easy. And I guess if you're not good with your aiming, it could be a little bit of an issue, but that's why they give you the bow that draws quickly. And there's a couple bows that will zoom in farther, or you could move in closer if you needed to. He's not tough. Far and away the easiest dungeon, and I mean, I haven't done the Gerudo boss in recent times, so I wouldn't say easiest boss, because I can't be 100% sure, but I wouldn't consider any of the bosses of the different Water Blights, Thunder Blights too terribly difficult. I remember the Gerudo one being the most difficult dungeon, and I think the most difficult boss. But even when I say the most difficult boss of the 4, like, I would say that puts it on par with, like, a Twilight Princess boss of, like, getting the Mirror of Twilight. So think, like, Arbiter's Grounds boss, Snow Peak Temple boss, like that level of difficult. Not like, oh, this is stupid hard difficult. Just, oh, I've got to be a little bit more careful, take my time type of thing. And there we go. 2 down, 2 to go.
You defeated him, eh?
Hey, Bird Butt.
Who would have thought? Well done. I suppose I should thank you now that my spirit is free. This returns Meadow back to its rightful owner. Don't preen yourself just for doing your job. I do suppose you've proven your value as a warrior worthy of my unique ability, the sacred skill that I have dubbed Revali's Gale. It's now time to move on and start making preparations for Meadow's strike on Ganon. But only if you think you'll still need my help while you're fighting inside Hyrule Castle. Feel free to thank me now.
Thanks, Falco.
Or...
Yeah, or Link could be the silent protagonist.
your job is far from finished, you know. The princess has been waiting an awfully long time.
Well, so have y'all, but I guess the difference is you're dead, so... I don't think it's ever specified in the game, but it's like, it'd be curious to wonder which of them died for, like, in what order they died, because I have that kind of morbid fascination, but, like, they all get trapped inside their own divine beast, so, like, who manages to hold out the longest between the four of them? I feel like it probably wouldn't be Revali. I feel like he'd immediately try and go and fight the boss, and as a result, he'd be the first to fight the boss and the first to also die. I feel like the Gerudo girl, Urbosa, I feel like she'd be the last one to die. I feel like the girls would be smarter than the guys, but, I mean, that's also because one of them is, like, super cocky and overestimates his ability, and the other one is a Goron, which are typically also known for doing the same thing. Amazing how much the inside of the chest looks like a proper rib cage right there. So now it won't be flying around anymore, it'll just be perched there waiting to attack Ganon.
Meadow's sights are now set. You'll have a precise speed on Ganon from this vantage point. And when the time is right, give him everything you've got. Now we wait for that perfect moment. Meadow, we've been artfully patient for the last 100 years. I doubt you'll suffer a feather over a few more moments.
He will not in fact suffer a feather because he is a mechanical beast and therefore has no feathers.
After all these years, I simply must admit the truth. Even without the power of flight, Link made his way to this divine beast and accomplished something that even I could not. Guess I was wrong about how lucky he was.
You bastard.
I
I guess I was wrong. He really is lucky. Like, I mean, yes, luck always plays at least a little bit of a part, but, you know. No skill involved in any of that? It was just pure luck? Alright. Okay. Cool. Gotcha. Thanks. And now we have Revali's Gale. Creates an upward draft that carries into the sky. Activate by charging the jump with X. Very, very, very helpful. I cannot stress enough how helpful that is. Oh, right, we should go talk to... What's his face for it? Well, let's go ahead and talk to these guys. Hey, we did it! Are you hurt? You have the blood of a champion. Actually, same guy. Same guy. Everyone knows that all the champions were wiped out by Claimant again, and even if they survived, they'd be old geezers with canes instead of swords. I mean, under normal circumstances, yes, you would be correct. Link would be like 120, and he would be wicked old. So, in that regard, yes, you are correct, but extenuating circumstances and all that. Whee! Alright. Where's the Elder? Is he down at, like, the bottom of the map? I don't think he's here. What dot is that for? That is for Venruto. Yeah, so now it's go report to him. Alright, well. We'll go make the spiral up to find him, I guess. Village Elder, where are you? Oh, I guess you just didn't load in for whatever reason. So now you get... Yep, don't have the Sword that Seals the Darkness yet. Yep. I think that's actually the difference that it makes in some of the dialogue is if you do have the Master Sword, they're like, oh crap, it actually is him. Like, he's not just whistling Dixie. Alright, I've got an empty slot since I broke a bow, which means I get the Great Eagle Bow, 28 power times 3, wielded by the Rito champion Rivali. Loose arrows with the speed of a gale, making him supreme in aerial combat. So now we have that as well as the Light Scale Trident. If you break the Light Scale Trident or the Great Eagle Bow or any of the weapons, by the way, there is always somebody in the village that if you give them the proper materials, they can make you a new one. So... not really infinite use, but you can keep getting it back, at least. Just for the sake of saying we did it. You can even see Link's shadow taking a picture. Alright. Yeah, I believe she's the person we need to do the shrine quest, so we have to wait for her to walk over and do her thing. Ma'am, could you go a little faster? Please? Please? I think she goes out here, if I remember correctly. No? Maybe you talk to her mom first. Yeah, this looks right. Yep. Keel, where are you? That's not that far away for a bird. That's not that far away for me. That's so far. I mean, yeah, if she fell, she'd absolutely be dead, but, you know. That's besides the point. Seriously, that's not that far of a flight for a bird. I guess in-game time, that's like a 25-minute flight, so maybe it is, but... not that big a deal. So yes, this one is a proper shrine quest. If you're doing all the shrines in the game, you will have to go and do this one. so she's mad because everybody was supposed to practice here. But nobody else showed up. So she's like, hey, you're somebody I can use. I mean, a very friendly person that would be willing to help me. Well, you know, however you want to tell your lie, I guess. So basically there's 5 of them. One of them's already here and you need to get the other 4. Really, only one of them is kind of a pain to get. And thankfully the other 3 can make it a little bit easier. Just gotta find the one that's got the cooking thing in it. Which might be lower down, which looks like it is. Yeah, so here's one. Let me tell you a story? Sure. Yeah. So the Snow White bird from there. Oh, can't hear the story from Grandpa because he's dead. Here's the cooking pot. You know, Kill wants me to practice with her, but I can't not to get my salmon meuniere. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So her remaining 3 sisters basically are going to get the ingredients for her. Like they're each going in different and picking up a different ingredient. So one of them is in here. So they each will say, like, yeah, we're going to go there. Can you give this ingredient? So each of the 3 have one of the ingredients necessary to make the proper thing. So if you don't want to buy the ingredients or you don't have the ingredients yourself, you can just go to the kids and do that. I think if you make the salmon first and then go talk to them, you don't get the ingredients. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's almost a reason to not make it until you've gotten all the pieces, because then you can essentially do it for free. You were catching salmon. This is how I catch salmon. I don't think there's any in there right now. I think it's... Yep, looks like it's empty. Alright. I'm gonna go back real quick and talk to the kid again if she's still there. Because I'm pretty sure it's 3 ingredients. I don't think it's just the butter and the salmon. Well, the sister loves high places. Increased probably at the Slippery Falcon. Yeah, the Slippery Falcon's the shop, so we got that. As for the sister that's in high places, I believe... You don't have to go to the very top of this thing, because that's way up there, but... Usually the easiest way to do that is to just... spiral staircase up to the top and then just climb a little bit, and she's not up too terribly high. Hello. This feels like it'd be a really nice place to lay. Probably a little too cold for me. I think in game it's, yeah, 51. That's way too cold for me. But it looks like a really awesome place to live. Like this and the Zora area both look really awesome. The Gerudo one's pretty cool too. Goron one a little too hot even for me. But that's probably because it's by an active volcano, and I'm pretty sure the temperature gauge literally reads error when you check the temperature for that. Yep, there she is. She's right there. Hello. Oh, that's what that puzzle is. See where that heart is right there on the shrine? Yeah, you have to shoot an arrow from that spot at the heart. It obviously doesn't have to land, but that's how you unlock that. Thank you for listening. Singing the Orb's List, I totally forgot. Okay, so it's the wheat. That's the piece she has. Pretty sure she can sing on an empty stomach, but that's her excuse. So yeah, that's what the heart puzzle is for. I was trying to remember if that was one or not, but that is one that I don't believe you have to beat the dungeon for. Keep on going down. And there we go. Alright, so the wheat. Oh, nope, there it was. The goat butter. Is it not here? Oh, there we go. I was supposed to say, I know what I'm looking for, but I remembered that was a new item that I picked up, so as a result, it was in the back until I sorted. Bingo! Yep, sure is. Much into her nook. I'm stuffed. Suppose I shouldn't break my promise. I really do like singing, I'm just too nervous to sing in front of other people. I have serious stage fright, maybe practicing will help me feel more comfortable. Alright, now that we've gotten all that part taken care of, as I go back and see how they're doing. I will show off Rivali's Gale at some point. That I can absolutely assure you. It's just we haven't gotten to a spot where we need it right now. And it recharges just like any of the other ones, but like it's one of those ones you kind of don't want to waste, because while you don't have it, you might end up needing it. Hi. Once the song passed down, Warbler's necessary. Lyrics don't make a lot of sense. When the wind convinces the rocks to sing, open the monk's door will swing. What do you think that means? What's a monk? I almost forgot. Ta-da, Korok Leaf. Did I have the space for that? Apparently I did. Okay, cool. Yeah, you do need a Korok Leaf for this. Okay, now here we go. So it's 4, 5, 3, 1, 2. 4, 5, 3, 1, 2. And each of the statues has a certain amount of fingers being held up. So there's 4. So you just stand on the platform. 4. You'll know when it lights up like that. 5. 3. 1. And 2. And there you go. Not too dissimilar from the bombers from Majora's Mask, actually, where you have to go and find... In that case, you have to find all 5 instead of 4. Well, I guess you sort of have to find 5. Where you find all 5 of the kids, and then they give you a pattern, and then you have to use that pattern to get something. In their case, it's the... it's into the sewers, but in this case, it's a shrine. Was that weirdo looking house always there? No, that's the shrine the elder was talking about. Let's tell Mom. Yep. Go back to your mom. She's freaking out. Bye. Asked my mom, is that a hatched egg? Ready, set, go! I'm betting on purple. Sure as heck ain't betting on blue. And there we go. I'm willing to bet this is probably a blessing shrine. Usually the ones you have to quest that much for almost always are. The winding route, or route, depending on how you view that pronunciation. As I expected. Yeah, I remember this shrine. This one's pretty cool, actually. So yeah, we need a key, and basically we're going to do a bunch of wind gliding in order to get that key. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything here in terms of treasure. What do we got? I'm thinking it's money. Nope, that's the key. Okay, that works. Anything else up here? Yeah. Ooh, give me that. No, 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 no. I will gladly toss the Korok leaf for a flame blade. Are you kidding me? Oh, that could not have come at a better time, considering that I almost killed myself right there. That could not have come at a better time, considering what I was about to do after this. We have yet to find any of those, mostly because a lot of the flame weapons are in the Goron area, unsurprisingly. But yeah, no, we definitely needed one of those. So if you keep a flame weapon on you, or if you find a flame weapon, I would recommend always keeping one on you, but don't ever, ever, ever use it for combat. The reason being is if you strike a bundle of wood with it, it will make a campfire, and you don't need the flint. So it completely bypasses needing the flint for anything. And you can just use that every single time, because it has to strike something in order to cause durability, and even though it strikes the wood, that doesn't count as you losing durability on it. And so you basically have, as long as you have a pile of wood, you have an infinite campfire. So it absolutely pays off to have one of those. Thank freaking goodness we got that. With all the electric weapons we have a spear, a two-handed sword, and a one-handed sword. Jeez. Oh, that was a good burp just then. They came out of nowhere. Alright. So that said, the reason I was going to use a campfire is because that puzzle that we were going to solve with the heart, that happened at 1, and we are going to be waiting for a while for that, but now we don't have to worry about that. That will make my job substantially easier. Oh, it's a Hinox. I was trying to figure out what that was. Wake up. Had the scars to put on some more makeup. Nice, now I got a perfect shot at its ass. Was not used to the precision of that weapon. That threw me off. Ooh, a royal broadsword. Those are semi-rare. That's pretty much the surefire way to make a shot if you need to, if you need to do so on a Hinox, is literally just stasis him while he's looking at you, and then you can like make a perfect shot every time, pretty much. Because he can't move, so... Once you get Stasis Plus, fighting a Hinox really is not that difficult. And a Royal Bow. Oh, that's beautiful. Give me that. Yeah, we're gonna drop that. Oh, 38. And that sword, too, 36 compared to, like, the 20s we've got. It's not quite as good as a Guardian Sword Double Plus, but that's still pretty good. And we'll take all of his cooked food. And move on. That's higher than what I have right now, equipped? Oh, I guess it's because it's the times 3. Nah, you know what? Like, I don't really care about multi-shot that much. Unless it's, like, a big target, then... And even then, with the Hinox, most of that's going in with melee, so it's fine. Alright, let's see if we can find that platform. There it is. I didn't want to be harassed by the wolves, because they'll harass you until you kill one, and then after you kill one, they all run off. Alright, so literally just take a wood bundle, drop it wherever you like, switch to a fire weapon, swing once, and boom, campfire. We'll go till noon. It's a very big campfire, but mostly because everything's on fire, but it's fine. The other upside to this, too, like with the flint as well. Oh, well, if I'd known there was going to be a blood moon, man... then I wouldn't have done that. But I didn't know. Jeez. The other upside is you can always just reignite the campfire and sit again if you need to, if you missed your target or need to go again in the case of the blood moon. Man, if I had known that was going to happen, I would have gone back to that spot. But no, there's no way I could have known. Because it was only like 6 o'clock, so it's in the game, so it was too early to tell. You don't have to cut any of this, I just want to make sure I can see what I'm doing with my shot whenever I fire at it. I believe it's about 1. Like 1 o'clock, 1:15 is whenever you want to shoot at it. Well, I shot at it, and then nothing happened, so let's do it again. In case we need it. I'll actually sit here and wait for the heart to go over where I am and then shoot at it. I'm pretty sure you don't have to make the shot. Like, because there's another one in the Gerudo area where you have to shoot at something when the moon passes by a tower. But you don't actually have to, like, hit the top of the tower or anything like that. Like, that would be... With that shot, that would be insane. Like, you'd have to correct something fierce to be able to do that. Do you actually have to? I'm pretty sure you don't. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to make a perfect shot there. Unless you actually do have to do the... Which I guess is possible. You maybe actually have to do it. Let's find out, though. Because, like, for all the cash shrines, like, he gives you a hint, but you don't actually have to talk to him if you know what the puzzle is. You can just do the puzzle. So that kind of sucks if you actually do have to. But there is only one way to know for sure. Oh, yeah. Thanks. She get to cooking. Yeah, don't feed the one that we just fed, for the record. She already ate. Nope. I don't think it's you. Oh, maybe it is. Let me sing it and teach it to me. Well, that's embarrassing. Part of the Rito, pill in the sky. Its heart lights up when the sun is high. There's more to song, but forget. You should go ask my sister if you want to know the rest. Her sister's pretty close by, if I remember correctly. Stupid hiccups. I'll help you, but there's a catch. You have to recite the first half from memory, and I will teach you the second half. Alright. So it's the Pride of the Rito. Pillar in the sky. Its heart lights up when the sun is high. And the other half is the heart shines upon a path not whole, but a warming flame can stir it. So, oh, does it need to be a fire arrow? Is that why? I'll bet you it is. It's probably fire arrows, or you can... Fine, let's just go. So you probably don't need the answer to that puzzle. I was just being stupid and forgot it was a fire arrow. I thought it was just a normal arrow. Probably because I was getting it confused with that one with the Gerudo, because that one is a normal arrow. You don't need it to be an elemental arrow. Sit till noon. I'm glad they give you a way to pass the time more effectively than... That's one of the downsides to Majora's Mask, I will admit, is, at least in the original game, is not being able to do that super effectively. So yeah, fire arrow is what I need. I also need to not waste my arrows. Wasn't there a third one of you? Nope, not interested? Okay, good. Okay, there we go. Oh, you don't even have to fire it. You just have to have it there? Okay, I'm an idiot. But yeah, if you don't want to actually pull out a fire arrow and risk shooting it, you can just use a campfire or some other fire source and literally just, like, essentially push the arrow into it or walk into it while you're holding out the bow with an arrow put into it. And that'll also give you a fire arrow. You can do that to attack enemies too, but I don't believe it does the same amount of damage as actually using, like, a proper fire arrow. But don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. What I am sure about, though, is this is our halfway point for shrines. Which seems a little bit weird, because I don't feel like we've done half the map. We've done half of the, We've done half of the Divine Beast, I'll give you that, but it definitely doesn't feel like we've done half of the map. And we probably haven't if I look at the map right now. Actually, you know what? That could be half the map. Maybe not quite half, but pretty close. Alright, set that in the cannon. Fire away. Alright, so now our goal is to do the exact same thing, but not hit one of those little pillars. Get in there. Like that. Just a timing game, not too terribly difficult. Oh, hey, I didn't notice this last time I came in here. What's behind here? As expected. Anything good? Oh, hey, a swallow bow. With durability up. I mean, sure, I guess I'll take it and equip it. Just I'm not using up one of my better ones. So I take that back. I guess there is another place you can find a swallow bow. So yeah, if you just want to finish the shrine, then that's all you had to do. But we go and get some treasure. Oop, that's not what I want. Just get rid of that. Yeah, that was a horrible shot. And no one to blame but myself for that one. Ah, that one was actually really close. It's that third one, that one that's going really slow, that keeps getting in the way. Because once it's in the way, it's out, like, there's like 2 cycles where you can't get it. Like that. Oh, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, well, that was a good shot. I just missed. That was all. Ah! I need to quit being so impatient. This is not difficult. I'm just being impatient. There we go. A diamond. Well, it was worth getting then. Those are very hard to come by. Even in the file where I'm down to like the last 15 or so shrines, I think I've only gotten like 4 of those total. Maybe 5. In terms of just like finding them. I haven't been breaking a ton of rocks or anything. It's just been ones I've found from chests. I think I might have gotten 1 of them from rocks. But usually it's topaz, ruby, sapphire that you're gonna find there. You may not even be able to find diamond. I'm not 100% sure. From rocks, anyway. You may have to buy it somewhere. I'm sure there's somewhere that sells it, but I'm also equally sure that it's going to cost you a pretty penny to do that. Probably like 2,000 rupees per diamond or something. Something equivalent to that. They sell for a decent amount, but of course they never sell for as much as what they're worth when you buy them. Such is the nature of the diamond. Alright. Now that those 2 are taken care of with the shrine quests, let's put some more stuff on the map for ones that I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about that as much. Alright, so those 2 down there, that's technically not part of the map. It's a little bit farther that way, so we're not going to do that one just yet. And just those. Okay. Am I doing that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's those 3 and then the one that's not there. The one that's up there that we did. This one. The tower, and then these 2. Okay, well that's not that bad then. We're actually pretty much done with this section. I didn't realize this one had so few shrines. It only has 6. 4 of which we've already done. I was expecting a little bit more than that. Well, we'll have to figure out where to go from there, I guess. But we'll do that after this is taken care of. Well, I see one of them right there. Let's go ahead and repin it. Oh no, I actually nailed it, like, spot on somehow. Looks like the fastest way is going to be to go there. But that is more important. I did mention we did need to do that. So now would be as good a time as any. Yes, we can finally go and get the upgraded Great Fairy. At long last. I also see some rocks down there, so don't think I won't be taking advantage of those. Fabulous. And like with all the Great Fairies, there's usually like one specific type of plant that there's a bunch of them around them. In this case, Mighty Thistle. Usually a few carrots here and there. Hello. And the Great Fairy Kesa, this was once a beautiful spring, yada yada yada. So now it is 500 rupees, but at this point we've got plenty. Here you go. Now we have to watch this nasty animation of the flower openings. Ugh. I don't know why it looks so gross. It just does. Ta-da! We probably won't see any of the other Great Fairies too terribly often outside of their initial appearances, just because the one in Kakariko is so easy to reach. Yes, I brought you back. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. So now you can enhance your clothing a fair amount. At long last. We'll start with the stealth mask first. Also, now the animation will change slightly. So each time that it gets upgraded once, twice, thrice, or quadrice, it'll be a different animation. Since we've seen it once, though, unless you want to watch Link just get kissed a bunch through the liaison of a finger. Oh, I forgot we hadn't upgraded our, like, Hylian armor at all. I forgot I even had that. Yes, please upgrade the Zora armor. There's no doubt in my mind we'll be needing that at some point down the line. Hey, we can upgrade it again, too. Let's do it. I don't remember if there's a full set for the Zora armor. I know there's a headpiece, so I would assume the leggings are somewhere. Oh, you need hightail lizards for that. Okay. Wow, for the third one we haven't even seen any of those materials yet. Okay. Well, I know the Hylian stuff's not that hard because it's usually just bokoblin junk, so it's not too terribly difficult to upgrade pretty quickly. Enhance away. Yep. I usually just try to enhance everything I possibly can. I know I haven't used the Hylian set since we got the stealth set, pretty much. I just left the stealth set on. But still. Alright, let's get to the soldier ones. This is another one that early on is not too terribly hard to get because it's Bokoblin and Choo Choo items. Yes, enhance the greaves for me. Can you upgrade them a second time, or do I not have the materials? No, I don't. Bye. So you don't have to return to this one specifically. Now that you've gotten both of them saved, you can do that for any of them. Let's go to... There we go. So is there a bonus for the full Hylian set? No, there is not. Okay. I already mentioned it, but here's the one for the stealth set, is you get night speed up, which is nice. We've only upgraded the climbing stuff once, so I can't show that one off, but that's an example of a set that gets a bonus. I'm going to warp back and glide again, just so I get a little bit more momentum going to that red one. I'm actually genuinely trying to think where I want to go next. I might head towards... I don't know if I have enough hearts. I'll need to actually physically count them. I have enough to get one more if I need to, but I might be able to pull the Master Sword by this point. And by the time I get there, I probably will be able to. Alright, since I know climbing that mountain in full is going to be a bit of a hassle. Ooh, but the temptation... You know what? Now would be a good point to show off Rivali's Gale, so I'm going to try to land there and then land on that little center thing and see what's there. There's got to be a chest at absolute minimum. That'll be a good excuse to show off Rivali's Gale. Now the thing is, Rivali's Gale will not charge, since it's one that you can actually use 3 times instead of once. It will not start recharging to get all 3 back until you used up all 3. So if you've gotten to a point where, for whatever reason, like, I've only got 1 use left, I'll probably need it in, like, 20 minutes or so, but not immediately, you may want to just go ahead and waste it so you can get it recharged at full. Meteor Rod. I don't think I've ever picked that up before. Or if I have, it's just one I never use. That's more like it. Give me that sweet money. Alright, so, with Rivali's Gale... Just jump and then hold down X. You don't even, I mean, you can hold down X while you're jumping, and then you get a massive boost in height. Which makes climbing things much easier. In particular, the towers, because you can skip climbing pretty much half of it, if not more. In fact, it almost assuredly is more. I think 3/4 would probably be a closer estimation of how much you can skip. Yeah, I already know what's going to have to happen here. Hi. We haven't been running into too many of those, so it's not that big a deal. I think that's the first one we've run into tonight, to be fair. Though most of that we spent in Rito or around Rito Village or doing the Divine Beast thing. But hey, we got another memory! Now's as good a time as any to watch that, except we're not actually going to because I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but yes, there is one here. As long as you're going around and picking up the shrines, this one's not too terribly difficult to locate, just because, like, you're probably going to see it while you're walking up to the shrine and just go and get it. It's not as bad as some others where it's just in a location of, like, yeah, if you know where all the shrines are, there's really no reason for you to be there if you're only doing the shrines. But yeah, we'll skip that for anybody that wants to watch those all on their own. Or if not, I'm sure there's a video on YouTube that would show them all. So I believe that's number 4 for us. Sorry, I was resisting the urge to sneeze there. I don't know why I've been sneezing so much lately. It hasn't even been like allergies because I'm not feeling any other allergies. Just been in particular sneezing a lot. I haven't been outside much either. A major test of strength. Ooh. I literally immediately went to go and like choose Master Sword, and then I'm like, it ain't there, Chief. Better have another think. Well, we've already taken out a major test of strength before. We can do it again. We probably have better stuff now than we did to take that guy on, honestly. You just gonna shoot at me right out of the gate? Oh, I made him mad. I'm surprised this hasn't told me that it's badly damaged or breaking yet. There it is. Stop that, you doofus. Let's see if we can knock him out of that. There we go. Out of curiosity, just make this go a little bit faster. I have any... No, I don't. I was gonna say, do I have any attack out foods, but I guess I don't. Oh well. Oh, just pure damage right here. Just beautifully pure raw damage. Guardian Shield Double Plus. The output level of this shield has been boosted to maximum. Its combat capabilities surpass those of metallic shields, and it can deflect Guardian Scout beams. As we say in the biz, please and thank you. That is definitely one of the better shields in the game. And we'll take the rewards that come with it and move on our merry adventure. Yeah, that's pretty badly busted now, but that's okay because in sacrificing that, we've just got a new one, so it's kind of okay to use up one. Knight's Halberd. Sure, why not? You managed to get like a double plus axe, a double plus sword, a double plus shield, and then they are like, here's a mid-level halberd. Great, thanks. Appreciate you. Turkeys. While fighting on... I don't think I've ever fought on horseback in this game. Ever. I'd much rather have to only worry about controlling Link, not controlling Link and my horse on top of that. Unless you want to count the final battle as fighting on horseback, but that final battle's kind of weak, so... Probably don't pay that much mind. The good news is now we can move faster, because we have the bonus of going faster at night. We'll pretend that was intentional, but it was not. Man, I'm not interested in dealing with you guys. Yeah, the best bet probably is going to be to go around that mountain. Alright. That is one heck of a fall down. Where is going to be the best way to approach this from... Oh, we're actually headed right towards it. I was not paying attention. I was looking at this giant wall being like, how are we going to go past this? Only to realize, oh, that's not the way we were... That's not the way we were going. My bad. Even my chair farts in approval. As does my alarm that goes off. That's in the other room. That is very loud. I do want to go and grab these luminous rocks, but I can already see where the shrine is. It's on that thing right there. That's a stasis puzzle. Nice. Oh, and some flint, too. And a rugged rhino beetle that probably got just sniped out of nowhere and didn't know what happened to him. Poor guy. Alright, let's just do that. And there we go, that should send it flying. Bingo! Anything else around the shrine? Nope, just the shrine itself. Okay. Oh, was this an Oreo shrine? Is that what it said just then? Oh no, it was Okio. It wasn't an R, it was a K. It's Kaokio. I was like, oh, it's an Oreo shrine. Hell yeah. Nope. No Oreos allowed, I'm afraid. No Oreos, only shrine. We're getting a lot of wind ones here. Not that I'm complaining, mind you, but still. That's probably going to be a Korok leaf. Almost assuredly. And I'm going to need it, too. That's the worst part. Yeah, freaking Korok leaf. Oh, well. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. Nope. Okay. That was weird. No, I don't want to do that. Do I even, like, need this stupid thing of bombs? Can I just go? How do I get to that? Is that what I'm supposed to blow up? Alright, more for curiosity's sake than anything. If I shoot this back wall. Nope. No dice. Ah, okay, I see. I see. Well, before we do that... Let's take care of the obvious elephants in the room. Yeah, you know what? Let's just use the meteor rod, because otherwise I'm never going to use it. Hi. Oh, he's still alive. There we go. Mobby. Oop, no, I don't want to drop that. I want to drop the... Maybe I should keep it. I don't know. I've already got one Guardian... You know what? No, because the Guardian Sword's not very durable either, so let's just not worry about it. I'm thinking way too much... I'm thinking way too hard on what weapons I should keep and what I shouldn't keep. Is there not a... I guess not. Okay. I was expecting there to be 4 torches, one on each corner, and there wasn't. So I was like, okay, is there one that's not lit? And no. The answer is no. There's just not one there altogether. Weird, but okay. I figured that was going to be like, oh, you're going to have to go and light this now. Which if, you know, that had been implied, I would have believed it. Alright, what do we got? Maybe a medium gem. High gem, the gem of money. Yeah, it could have been worse, all things considered. Anything down there? Yeah, I didn't think so. Also, if you ever want to reset the position of that little doodad, just hit that again and it'll respawn. Make it a little bit easier. Where are we going with this? We're going there. Okay. Mercifully, yeah. Mercifully, you can hang glide through most of that. Might be able to hang glide through all of it, I don't know. I'm gonna assume that I need this for something. Oh no, never mind, there's more barrels here. Oh, hello. Hello? Oh, there we go. I was like, you okay? It's fun to attack unarmed idiots, but like he was just hanging out there, man. He wasn't looking for no trouble. Nice fireworks. Oh, I was like, what was the point of that? I was very confused for a minute there. This is one heck of a shrine. Way longer than I expected it to be. Forest Dweller's Sword. Does it have any, like, special properties? Show it to me again. Isn't the best choice for it. And you know what? If it's not good for head-on, then I can't apply it directly to the forehead. So I'm not too terribly interested. Oh, no, there was... That gave me a little bit of an optical illusion there, so I thought there might be something, but nope. There's not. I feel like we're missing something. Like, where is this all going? Like, obviously we need a key, but this feels like we're going all over the damn place. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, perfect. Another one of those. Well, I'm willing to bet this is not the key. Link, my man. Look, I know sometimes you don't want to jump. But, like, you just gotta, okay? Like, this is one of those times where your parents just know what's best for you because you're mentally a 3-year-old. And they just know what's good for you, okay? Like, you're gonna have to take it on faith. I cannot believe I did not get got by that spike just then. Yeah, I don't think I can make that. I'm just gonna jump off. This going back to the whole trusting your parents thing. as they do the exact same thing you tried to do earlier, and you're like, but I did that and it didn't work. You told me not to do that. Yes, well, things have changed, so, sucker. I don't know how steady that would have been with 3, but if we'd lost any more than 3, that would have been it right there. Where are we going? What is happening? What is this? A shortcut? No? It's an explosive barrel? I don't think I need an explosive barrel, though. What is going on with this shrine? Okay, we're still going up, then. Alright. That's what I need to think. You know what? I'm just gonna cheat, honestly. And by cheat, I mean do this a different way than what was intended. It might have been not the best thing for poor Link, but you know what? It was easier that way. And look, now the puzzle's solved! Hooray! Thanks to my genius deductive reasoning of just blow everything up, including your player character. That's just where we were earlier. This better be the key. Please let this be the key. I don't want to go on for more than this. There we go. This has been an interesting shrine, but, like, I don't know what the heck's going on here. How do we get out? Is this where we go to get out? Can we please leave? And that was the sword. Is this where we go to leave? Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Nope, 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 nope. I want to see what's in here before we leave. The sword I don't care about, but this could be... Oh, well, or it could be a thunder spear. Well, you know what? We're done with the Korok leaf, so let's just get rid of it. I don't want it. Beauty. We'll hang on to that for a little while. I'll probably end up using that pretty quick since we already have a thunder spear. Please get me out of here. That was a mess of a shrine. I'm pretty sure, like, at least a third of the puzzles that were there I did not solve the way they were intended. They wanted me to keep using explosive barrels, and I'm like, yeah, but I got bombs, so why would I do that? Some ingredients will freeze if submerged in ice cold water when left out in frigid regions. There are a few ingredients that taste better, even better frozen. Yeah, same thing for the fire areas, actually, too. They'll catch on fires by having them out as well. So if you're looking for, like, one of the prime things of meat or whatever, and you do it in an icy area or fire area, you better pick it up before it gets changed. Alright, that is it for that section. Very quickly, I'm going to go get myself a heart. It feels like there should have been more shrines in that section. It feels like there were so few, but I guess part of that is area you don't access outside of maybe Korok seeds, but you know. So the paraglider depletes the stamina wheel. Yes, it does. But you get so much mileage out of it, it's kind of worth it. Check and see if our little bunny friend has... Nope, he's not there. He seems to only be there at night, so I can't say I'm too terribly surprised by that. Nor can you say you'd be too terribly surprised to know that I'm going to get myself another heart. Because we're good on stamina for a ways. I shall grant you the power you seek. Abracadabra, alakazam. Everyone's favorite psychic types in Pokemon. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Alright, thank you all for watching, but it is unfortunately time for me to head to work. And also to change out of my pajamas. So, let's see if we can actually raid Steven this time. I know he had a breakfast stream, so normally we can't raid him, but we might be able to this time. Nope, still can't raid him. Okay, well, if that's the case, there is a new WarioWare game out. That looks pretty interesting. I might pick it up, I might not. I don't know. But if you are interested in WarioWare or that kind of style of game, you can go watch Jeff play it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you sometime next week, probably, for more Breath of the Wild, where we figure out where the heck we're going next. Later.